Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. Welcome to this headliner on Krystal, all things Krystal. And you have a different type of property, David, that we want to talk about today, which is in Playa del Carmen and is Mahekal, right? Have I got that right?
Yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got it. It's the Mahekal Beach property.
Mahekal Beach property, which is Magical Beach, correct?
Yeah, that is correct in
Yeah.
Spanish.
Tell us about it. I love the bungalows. I mean, that just seems like
Yeah.
it should sell itself.
It's absolutely beautiful. I've been there a few times. It's 195 bungalows on the beach right in Playa del Carmen. They've got about 800 feet of beach there that is absolutely beautiful. It actually is the picture behind me here. With three restaurants on property. All of the rooms, the 195 bungalows, are either one, two, or three story. And it is great to have the Mahikal Beach now in Air Canada Vacations, of course.
Right.
It's been around for quite a while, but about 2 years ago, the parent company of Krystal Resorts started managing it. And so
Okay.
that's why now we're getting some traction in the Canadian market space, which is wonderful.
So advisors wouldn't necessarily know the property very well.
Yeah, only a few of them do. So I've taken
Okay.
FAMs down there, and it's great that Air Canada has it as a five-star property, which I certainly agree with. But yeah, now they wouldn't know about it very much. Only a few agents have in the past, just booking it directly.
So it's perfect timing that we're doing this. Tell us a little bit about the bungalow experience because it appeals to me a lot, that type of product. So I'm keen to hear about it.
Yeah, I sort of call it high-end rustic. Many of the rooms don't have TVs. They started to put in TVs in all of the rooms a few years ago, and a lot of
Really?
the regular guests said no. Now, of course, there is streaming there, so people can stream their favorite shows for entertainment. But it tends to be a very quiet property. It's not specifically adults only, but I don't see very many, kids or teens on the property. Location is everything, Nina, when it comes to this property. It's just half a block away off of Fifth Avenue.
I have to say, I never turn a TV on when I'm, in Mexico on a beach. It just didn't even cross my mind. So I think that's brilliant that you're not necessarily including TV sets because really stay home, you know? I mean, ultimately, there's so much to do. But it isn't necessarily branded Krystal. Is that correct? Just let me understand that.
That's correct. Yeah, the parent company, Santa Fe Grupo Hotelero, that manages all the Crystal properties around Mexico, also manages this one. But it
Okay.
isn't branded specifically as a Crystal Resorts
Right,
property.
right. But it's under the auspices of Krystal, so we can expect that type of quality. Makes a lot of sense. Now,
Exact.
if we move over to the other coast and into PVR, you've got a Krystal Grand, which we want to talk about because it also has that beautiful hacienda section. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so the Crystal Grand Puerto Vallarta agents sold it for 10 years as the Hilton Puerto Vallarta until a few years ago. So if they've sold that, that's how they might remember it there. And of course, while it was the Hilton, we owned and managed it, the land. The Hilton branding went away a couple of years ago, and we rebranded it as the Crystal Grand Puerto Vallarta. Um, about 7 years ago, we opened the hacienda section that you mentioned there. So that is behind the Crystal Grand Puerto Vallarta. So it's not beachfront. That one originally opened as an adults only property. During the pandemic, we changed it to teens and adults. So it's still not a family friendly property with kids there. The Crystal Grand Puerto Vallarta is a kid friendly property with a
Okay.
kids club on property. But all of those hacienda guests have full access to the Crystal Grand. So the beachfront. And my favorite spot on property, Nina, is our rooftop lounge. There's an
Mm,
infinity pool up there.
nice.
They serve sushi up there all day long and
Oh,
beautiful views of the Bay of Banderas there. So,
wow.
and who doesn't like an adults only area on an all-inclusive property?
Yeah, yeah, and that beautiful Bay of Banderas. Before I ask you about weddings, because that sounds perfect for weddings since you've got the teenagers, the kids, you've got all the options. Sandra, welcome to this headliner and tell us a little bit about the special sale that you've got on at the moment at ACV.
Yes, 100%. So right now is the perfect time actually to book with Air Canada Vacations and obviously with David and his product because we have our Bye Bye Winter Sale, which is running from now until February 9th, where your clients can save up to 40% on select packages. So right now is the perfect time to start thinking about booking your vacations with Air Canada Vacations with the Krystal hotels.
40% is a big chunk to have
It's a
discounted.
huge savings, 100%. And of course, Nina, don't forget that with every Air Canada Vacations booking, your first checked bag is free. So that's a huge
Right.
advantage when you're selling with Air Canada Vacations.
That's a very, very good point to make. Thank you. Yes, and Aeroplan points and of
And
course, flights from across the country that will take you either to the Cancun property or the Puerto Vallarta property, and
correct.
all of the guests from across the country who are coming to their wedding. So, David, what's special about weddings at your properties?
Yes. So all of the Crystal resorts do offer great wedding packages th- with wedding coordinators at each property to help coordinate that and make that very easy. Take those details out of the hands of the agents so that they're not fretting on those, which color of bouquets to choose and such. With the Hacienda and the Crystal Grand Puerto Vallarta, having a little bit more flexibility with that exchange there, the hacienda being for teens and adults, so it tends to be much quieter. Maybe the wedding party would be there. Maybe the rest of the guests would be at the Crystal Grand Puerto Vallarta there. Neither of them are large properties, but I will
Okay.
tell you, one of the cool things is we have swim out suites at both of those properties, which not a whole lot of our fine competitors in the Vallarta, right in Vallarta, have a lot of swim out suites, and
That's
we do.
true. I never would have thought of that. That's very true. Puerto Vallarta is a little bit different than the Mayan Riviera in that
Mhm.
department. Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Anything else?
So yeah, just lots of different wedding packages. My best thing, since I'm not a wedding, expert, is I get that agent and their bride and groom in touch with the wedding coordinator to take care of all of those details. But as I mentioned, that O West Lounge, the rooftop adults only lounge, might be the perfect place for that wedding or that reception. And we're on the beach at the north end of the hotel zone, so everybody likes a beach wedding, maybe with some sand in their toes while they're exchanging their vows in front of a beautiful sunset.
So funny, I've been doing this for a while, and every time I hear about, oh, a wedding with a view of Banderas Bay, whatever, they go, oh yeah, yeah, I want to renew my vows. I want to do that. I want to do that. Like it's just so evocative, right? Of romance and beauty and couples, thinking of their future together, even though they've already had a chunk of it, like in my case. Okay, rewards.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about rewards.
Yeah, Crystal Resorts has Crystal Cash, our agent incentive program. It's Amazon e-gift cards for our agents that
Oh,
book.
nice.
And of course, Air Canada vacation bookings work perfectly with Crystal Cash. $25 Amazon gift card for each room during high season, $30 during low season. Pay it out the next month. Some agents have done very well with like thousands of dollars in Amazon e-gift cards. And who couldn't use an Amazon e-gift card?
No question. It's amazing what you can get on Amazon nowadays. I'm shocked. I mean,
Mhm.
pretty soon it's going to be Air Canada vacation packages, I just bet you. But I would not be surprised. It's the one thing that's missing. Anyway, thank you. Talk to you soon.
Thanks,
Thank
Steve.
you,
Take
Nina.
care.
Thank you, David.